All right, everybody, welcome back to We Like Dota Community Night. This is match number 2, and the draft is already underway and shaping up to be quite a bit different from the last match. And we did have a first pick Enigma for Talon's Team of Science. So I gotta believe that somebody on that team has a pretty decent Enigma. And we also have the Viper pickup for the Radiant. And on the Dire, we do have Razor and Alchemist. Excited to see Alchemist. Not sure if that's being played in a carry or support position, but I am a big fan of the support Alchemist. But he also does carry well into the late game. Alchemist is one of those heroes, kind of along the lines with Mirana, that they can kind of start out as a support, and then by the end of the game, you can kind of farm them up to be another carry if needed, if the game goes long enough. So I do like the flexibility that the Alchemist offers, and also kind of keeps the other team on their feet as far as drafting goes. So that can be a little tough to draft against because you're not sure what position Alchemist is going to be in. And we do have the Shadow Shaman pickup. We did see him used to full effect in the last game, even though he wasn't on the winning team last game. He was able to get quite a bit of work done and was a really good support. So yeah, making good plays and just going to town. And on the ban list, we do have Faceless Void banned out. There have been a lot of Faceless Void bans, which is just fine because that hero is annoying to deal with, especially if you combo him. Oh, excuse me. As I yawn, if you combo him well with another carry, you can just go to town with Enigma, or not Enigma, Faceless Void. And we do see the Witch Doctor ban for the Radiant is a little bit of a curious ban. I guess the Shackles ultimate combo or Shackles Death Ward combo is actually probably pretty good. So I think I can understand why that's a thing. And okay, we do have a Keeper of the Light pickup for the Radiant. That is a bit of an interesting pick. I'm not super familiar with Keeper of the Light. I know what he can do. I know that he can restore mana and heal your team. And the Illuminate is a pain in the butt to lane against. And I didn't realize that this mana leak will stun if they run out of mana when they're moving. That's a pretty legit one. That's pretty legit. And I don't think I've seen the recall used too often. Though that is a pretty good ability. Can really help summon people to your team fight. And the Ag Scepter upgrade for Keeper of the Light is really nice. Gives you permanent daytime unobstructed vision, which is good. And it lets you channel the Illuminate and then kind of move away, which is good. And this Wraith King is a really good pickup for Viper. I sense that the Enigma Ultimate and the Wraith King Wraithfire Blast, will combo well with Viper to kind of keep him from getting kited around. So that's a pretty nice drafting from Snack. And I do like the Phantom Assassin pickup. It does suffer a little bit from some RNG issues with the coup de grace. But yeah, still a decent hero. You kind of have to rely on snowballing with Phantom Assassin, but she is pretty easy to play thanks to the blur abilities and also the Phantom Strike. One thing I do like about Wraith King quite a bit is if he's played in the support position, which it's looking like that Well, I'm not sure if that's the case or not. He could either offlane or... This could be a solo offlane Wraith King, which actually would be pretty decent. He just brings so much sustain with his reincarnation. And that slow is just so nice when he goes down as well. Not that you necessarily want to go down, but if you do, that slow is really nice. Okay, and we have a Bane pickup, which is nice. Bane has nice disable, and I'm definitely liking this Darkseer pickup from Talon's Team of Science. Synergizes really well with the Viper, but you're really relying on this Viper to kind of get out of control. But the Wraith King should be able to farm up pretty well as well and provide a nice chunk of damage. And I started with the Radiant last time, so I'm going to start with the Dire this time. That's right.
Everybody gets in.
Okay, so we do have Codes playing the Alchemist, and it looks like it's going to be a safe lane Alchemist and a farming Alchemist at that as well. Not surprised, given that we have the Bane and Shadow Shaman. In the offline, we're going to have Beakless Beaker on the Shadow Shaman with a really cool hat for him. The Mysterious Vagabond's hat. I do like that. Does he have Lamb to the Slaughter, the Immortal? Yeah. No, he doesn't. Mysterious Vagabond's Wand. That's okay. He does have a ward for his Mass Serpent Ward, so that'll be cool. And in mid lane, we have Guy on Razor. He does have the Immortal Razor helmet, which is basically just like a hockey skate attached to his head. And we have Bend Over on the Bane, support Bane. And who are we missing? Where is Kyler on the Phantom Assassin, also in the offlane? On the Radiant side, we have Eris Nex on Darkseer. We have Berg on Viper. Ashy Larry, which I'm told is a Chappelle Show reference, which I don't remember. I watched a lot of Chappelle Show, and I don't remember that. Snack on the Wraith King, and Last Talon on the Keeper of the Light. Does have that reindeer for Keeper of the Light, which is funny. So yeah, here we go. Darkseer almost getting off the pro creep block, missing that single creep there. Does have some cool items for Darkseer, though. I like this back piece for him. Aquander Carapace. And yeah, this Ion Shell is just going to make things tough for Alchemist and for the Shadow Shaman. The Ion Shell, you cast it on any unit, and it shields that unit, but it also surrounds the unit with a bristling shield that damages enemy units in an area around it. So it doesn't look like it actually provides any sort of shielding bonus, but it does damage to nearby units. So yeah, really keeps your creep wave pushed forward. So that's going to make things a little bit tough for the Alchemist and for the Shadow Shaman. So that's a good draft. And we almost see Guy going down on the Razor. And where is... Oh, here we go. And they almost kill each other right off the bat. That is crazy. The Razor does have the bottle ready to go. Does have the double branches. And as far... I think Viper would win this lane. Thanks to his poison attack. And we see a stun on the Bane with the Illuminate doing a ton of damage. One more Wraithfire Blast will take down Bane, but I don't think they're going to have that ready to go, as both heroes go ahead and use Tangos to get back up. And yeah, we can already see the power of the Coddle hiding behind the trees and casting the Illuminate. That thing does a ton of damage. And Bane is... picking up the Enfeeble and the Brain Sap. Illuminate going to be off the mark, not going to be able to do too much there. But yeah, the Enfeeble should be nice to keep that, keep Wraith King from last hitting quite as much, maybe deny a little bit of farm potentially. And we do have Morphling in the jungle going immediately for the Soul Ring, which I do like that quite a bit. As someone who plays Enigma a little bit, that's the way to go. And I know that pass him out of here, no problem. And the range on the static link is, I don't know. It looks like it's around 400 or so. And yeah, I think Viper's going to be able to win this every time. Even though Razor does have the bottle, he's not... Well, see, if he does get off that static link, Viper can't really do too much about it. He is quite a bit slower, though. He does have the boots. And is slowed thanks to the poison or the poison attack. But Razor is able to go and grab this bottle, so I think... Yeah, I don't know. I think... Neither hero has much of an advantage when it comes to going and getting runes. So, yeah, I don't know. I think Viper should be able to win this lane. I think the most Razor can hope for is to not lose. And another Illuminate's being channeled, and not going to do too much besides do a decent amount of damage to the creeps. Though I believe that does... Does that heal? I thought it healed. No, maybe not. Maybe that's with the ultimate. I think it heals. I'm not sure. With Fire Blast going down on the Phantom Assassin, are they going to have enough burst to take him down? Looks like yes! First blood for Keeper of the Light, taking down the Phantom Assassin with that clutch Illuminate. And Razor is going to go ahead and look for a rune down here in the bottom lane, but they don't have wards up. The Dire has no vision whatsoever. So, yeah, a bit of a misplay there. Not sure why we don't have any wards up on the Dire side. You definitely want to go ahead and get those up when you can. So, Shadow Shaman and Bane. Buy those wards. And I'm surprised that Razor is going for a bottle, knowing that he doesn't have wards up to see the runes. If you don't have the wards up, that can make things a little difficult. But he is going blind to... Whoa, speaking of going blind, there we go. He does find this double damage rune in the top rune spot, so he's going to go ahead and bottle that up and save that for later. And he does activate it, so not even saving that for later. And if we take a look at the CS, we can see that Viper is definitely beating Razor when it comes to farm. So Viper's doing a great job, definitely winning this lane. And I think you might want to consider rotating. Not sure who you'd rotate in, if anybody. I don't even, like, you see Alchemists go mid sometimes, that's never good. It's never fun to lane against the Viper. I think what the Dire might want to consider doing is having the Shadow Shaman rotate in and taking down Viper, or even having the Alchemist rotate in. And really, you can see here the power of the Ion Shell. It is just keeping this lane just so tucked in under the tower. And Viper going to go ahead and pick up the haste rune, so we might be able to see a kill off of this. Though he doesn't have a ton of health, so not sure if he's going to be able to capitalize off of it. And Razor does go and check for the rune, and we will see a Viper Strike go down, and I think this is going to be a dead Razor, especially with this haste rune. And yeah, goes down real quick, so Viper definitely handily winning this lane, no problem. And at this point, you want to go ahead and have somebody from the Dire rotate in and try and get a kill on the Viper, even like PA or something. Goes to town, Razor comes in, gets off a nice static link. Heck, you could just have the Shadow Shaman rotate in, do a Hex, do a Shackles, get off a good static link, and then you can just go ahead and kill him. Blow him up. Enigma's doing real great on farm, currently leading at 33 creep kills, leveling up that Midnight Pulse to help farm up a little bit, and I think also to help make your creep or your farming a little more efficient by cutting down some of these trees to kind of move throughout the jungle a little bit easier. You can come up through here instead of going all the way around, which obviously isn't as ideal. You lose a lot of time doing that. And I could have sworn that Coddle had a heal. I don't know, you guys. I could have sworn Coddle healed with the Illuminate. Maybe not. And Darkseer doing a good job of keeping this lane pushed in. Is leveling up the Vacuum and the Surge to, yeah, just be elusive and stay away from anybody who might want to kill him. I need to turn this to busy. There we go. Oh. Go offline. There we go. Sorry about that. Yadneb making noise on my Steam. Don't want that. Dagger being used to harass Kato a little bit. Not really too much going on. But yeah, if we look at net worth, Viper is already starting to snowball out of control as he is winning this lane pretty fiercely, and he does go ahead and buy up wards. Or no, I'm sorry, Eris next bottom for him, who is the Darkseer. And we do finally have wards up for the Dire, so good for them. Nice river vision, so that guy on the Razor can now figure out where the heck the wards are, and we do have Razor rotating up into this lane. Plasma Field going to be used, not going to do too much, and he may have just walked into his death. The Wraith Fire Blast is used, but not going to do too much. And we are still waiting for this Enigma, who does have Black Hole ready to go. Yeah, still waiting to see if Enigma is able to make anything happen, and he does have the new Geodesic Eidolons, which I'm a huge fan of. And we have Wraith King picking up the Hand of Midas, which is a good pickup considering that the Radiant are already ahead. And they are definitely way far ahead already. Definitely getting way more out of these lanes, farming up much nicer. And yeah, I don't think... I think maybe the only lane that the Radiant... Well, no, the Radiant have... I would say they've even won this lane as well. Or the Dire have. Or no, excuse me, the Radiant. I would definitely say the Radiant have won the off lane. Or at least prevented Alchemist and... who's in the other lane? Alchemist and Shadow Shaman from doing a decent amount of farm. And Static Storm will go down. Black Hole catching out the Bane and the PA. And Illuminate will just take him out, no problem. And that's a 3-for-0 exchange. That was quite the decent amount of teamwork there to take those guys down. So, yeah, good Black Hole and good Illuminate, and yeah, good game. And this Darkseer is even beating out the Alchemist for farm, which, given that you have a range support in the lane here, which I understand it's difficult with this Ion Shell, but with a range support, this Alchemist should be able to farm up a little bit more. And we do have the Unstable Concoction being used, but Darkseer is going to be able to surge away no problem. And the Ion Shell was used on the Alchemist. I gotta think that's maybe a bit of a fat finger, because that's actually going to help him farm up a little bit. So yeah, I think at this point in the game, the Dire need to maybe buy some smoke, or even just try and group up a little bit and try and get some get some ganks going on. Maybe try and catch out Enigma when Enigma's in the jungle because his black hole's down for another 100 seconds. Yeah, even just like a 5-on-2 gank, 4-on-2 gank would do well. Would serve them well to help them recover a little bit, and just try and make those happen a little bit. Rotate up to some of these lanes. Take out, take out this lane, or something along those lines. But it looks like the Radiant are going to go ahead and try and push against this middle tower. And Razor does pop the ultimate, and a Wraithfire Blast is probably going to be the end of him, as the ultimate does do a little bit of damage, but it's not going to take him down. Midnight Pulse being thrown onto the tower, just for good measure to make sure no one comes in this area. And yeah, the Radiant siege begins.
One last top tower for the Radiant.
Alchemist does have the Grievel's Greed and the Hand of Midas, so if he's able to keep those on cooldown or keep the Hand of Midas on cooldown and use that effectively, that'll help him come back a little bit. But yeah, the net worth of these Radiant heroes is just so high right now. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. Enigma almost has the mechanism ready to go. A 14-minute mech. That's pretty good. That's going to help out their push even more than they already have. And Viper doing a little bit of chip damage against PA. Not going to be able to do too much, though. It's just a solo Viper. Illuminate being channeled. I think this is going to be a full channel Illuminate, and it does almost half of the health bars of PA and Razor. Alchemist rotates and pops the ultimate, but not really going to get too much out of it. But they do find the Viper here. He does start the Unstable Concoction. It is going to do a decent amount of stun damage, but I think Viper is going to be able to get out of here. And Enigma and Coddle rotate in. Illuminate's going to be channeled up, and that's going to be a kill for the Coddle. And the Razor does pop the plasma field with a nice vacuum. Going to take down Razor, and Viper getting the double kill with the Shadow Shaman and the Razor kills there. And this poor Bane, not going to be able to do too much here. Bane's going to go down if they're able to catch up to him. And Darkseer casting the Ion Shell on Viper. And yeah, that's going to be a dead Bane. So this game is quickly getting out of control in favor of the Radiant. Already a 11,000 gold lead in favor of the Radiant. So this is getting quite out of control already. And Ben Yadneb Day keeps interrupting my streaming here, and that's okay. Razor going to pop the ultimate, not going to matter, not going to do much of anything. Wraith King throwing out the Wraithfire Blast, and he is going to dive this, and this might be the end of him, but that's only going to be the reincarnation that's going to get popped. And I think we're going to see high ground getting broke here pretty soon. And Ben Day saying he does what he wants. Been hanging out with Kyle Crimson Manring too much. Well known for saying that phrase. Phantom Assassin does have the Poor Man Shield. I guess she does have that going for her. As far as other items, we're still sitting on level 1 boots, except for Shadow Shaman. And yeah. Tier 1 boots, whatever we want to call them. Wraith King is close to this Maelstrom. Good lord. This is getting out of control. Darkseer real close to a Veil of Discord, or no, a Veil, Hood of Defiance. Man, I always get those two confused. Viper is really close to a Manta. How much does that recipe cost? 900. 400 gold until Viper has a Manta. So he's doing okay. Good lord, folks. What's Enigma sitting on? Still no Blink Dagger for Enigma. That's surprising. That's another tower down. This is all but over. This is pretty one-sided. And the least farmed support on the Radiant side is beating the hard carry of the Dire, which is, you never want that. That's not a situation you want to be in. Alchemist does have the power treads ready to go, which is always good. We have the Eidolons chipping away at the tower, and these poor Eidolons just going to melt into the ground. Alchemist and PA rotating in, not going to be able to do too much. I'm not sure. Not sure why Guy says. Oh, I was confused there for a moment. Guy pauses the game and then says question mark. And yeah, Enigma rotates out of here, no problem, as the unstable concoction blows up in his face. And taking a decent amount of Midnight Pulse damage, and actually a decent amount of damage from his unstable concoction as well. Razor getting up those phase boots and Ring of Aquila. Looks like the Radiant are thinking about Roshan. Definitely going to do Roshan. And yeah, there's really nothing the Dire can do here about this. I mean, if the Radiant wanted to go ahead and win the game, there's nothing much the Dire can do to contest that even. Which is unfortunate. Surprisingly not going down too quick here, and I don't think the Dire know what's going on yet. They are close to the Roshan pit, and here we go, and Illuminate is going to be channeled. Does a decent amount of damage to the Dire here, and I still don't think they know what's going on here. Unfortunately. Need to keep up the ward vision of the Roshan pit, which I also understand at this stage in the game when you're that far behind, it's tough to keep those wards up like that. As a support player with a carry who constantly reminds him to keep wards up, I do know that's difficult. And we have Viper popping the Manta, and is going to go ahead and go in on the Viper. What is Viper? What is that? I don't even know what that is. I don't even know what those weird trails were. I don't know what that comes from. It looked cool, though. I'll give him that. And the Unstable Concoction will get shaken up and thrown at Viper, but not going to be able to do too much as the Acid Spray is thrown down on the ground. Illuminate's going to be channeled and not going to hit anybody, but does clear away the creep wave. So yeah, it looks like the Radiant are going to go ahead and push out this top tower. And actually, it is a nice moral victory for the Dire because they have taken down 2 towers, which is... You know, we've all had those matches where you don't even get any towers down, and those are very frustrating. Bane gonna pop the Nightmare. Coddle goes ahead and takes it off him. Nice game sense from Coddle. I wouldn't have thought to do that. Alchemist shaking up the Unstable Concoction. I fear this might be another one blowing up in his face, and it will. One Jared Clyde Frog Pedersen is notorious for doing that. Another Nightmare being thrown on Snack on the Wraith King. And yeah, he's just hacking away. Baller King, as he's referred to sometimes. He does have a really cool set for Wraith King. I do like that. Razor almost has the mechanism up, but I do believe somebody else on their team is working on a mech. No, I was wrong. And it looks like Viper's going to go ahead and start working on a Butterfly. Keeper of the Light going for a Staff of Wizardry. You can build a number of things out of that. Enigma going to be going for maybe a nice Vacuum going to catch 3 of them while the Illuminate does get channeled and does a decent amount of damage. A nice Static Link will get off. The ultimate will get popped as we do see Viper go down. Plasma Field, that does pop the Aegis. Wraith King sitting here, right-clicking, going to town. And that will be the end of Alchemist's life as Wraith King does reincarnate. And the ultimate really just doing work. Does take down the Wraith King there. And I think Viper is going to get away here as the the Ion Shell sticks on the one wing of Viper, which is interesting. I haven't seen that before. But yeah, that surge from Darkseer really useful in helping people get away, so good on them. And you gotta hand it to Razor. Razor did a decent amount of damage there. He was able to do quite a bit of work. And they do have the one kill on the Wraith King. Who got that? Bane got that. I think Razor did most of the damage there, but nonetheless, the Dire are on the board, so good for them. Darkseer picking up that Pipe of Insight. I do like the Pipe of Insight quite a bit. Does help out with that magic damage. Will help out with the ultimate. No, excuse me, that's physical damage. Will help out with the Plasma Field. Will definitely help out with the Mass Serpent Ward damage, which is also physical. I'm just striking out here with these spells. Let's see, what about Alchemist? That's composite damage. That's physical damage. Okay, so maybe the Pipe of Insight, not so great of a pickup here. It will help with the Plasma Field damage, but you know, you're not looking to stop the Plasma Field damage. You're looking to stop the Eye of the Storm damage. Kato close to picking up that Ag Scepter. Nightmare will go down on Enigma, but not going to do too much. He does have the BKB and the Mechanism, so he's feeling pretty tanky. He's doing pretty good. Alchemist, looks like Alchemist is going for the Maelstrom, which at this stage of the game when you're so far behind, I think that's not the greatest pickup. I think you maybe want to go for a Drum of Endurance, go for some more value items. Not entirely sure what to do at that point. At least I'm not. So it looks like the Radiant are going to go ahead and resign to just farm up a little bit. Enigma working on the... or no, excuse me. Wraith King working on the Skull Basher. Probably going to be going for an Abyssal Blade, I would assume. And I am still really interested in knowing how to click on the map and have it rotate over slowly. I really like that. How they did at TI4. And I looked through my settings and I couldn't find anything. Wraith King does get a kill on the Razor. Enigma going to be using the Maledict to help stun him a little bit, and Bane will go down. Another kill for Viper. How many kills does this Viper have now? 5. Wraith King sitting on 6 kills. So yeah, I think they could just push the high ground here and win no problem. And Kato does pick up the Ag Scepter to give him permanent spirit form. So he will have the Blinding Light and the Recall abilities available at all stages in the game now, as well as Unobstructed Vision. And this PA, I hope she can buy a TP scroll and get the crap out of here, but she doesn't. She knows what's coming. I think she could have TP'd out. I really do. And somehow this Viper's catching up to her. Oh, he's got the phase boots, and he does get the poison attack off, which will spell doom for PA, and all that poison damage just going to town, and PA will fall. Poor PA. Hanging out in the jungle, just trying to farm up and recover a little bit, and the Radiant just say, not today. And she goes down. So I think the poison attack and the Viper Strike damage is pretty good against PA. Not sure, does the blur... Not sure if the evasion works on, like, you know, poison attack and Viper Strike. I don't know if you can evade those. I would assume you can, maybe. But I would think the poison attack would really help out a lot. Hey, catching out too with that Unstable Concoction. That's nice. Mech gonna heal him up a little bit. Nice Vacuum gonna catch out too. Darkseer just going to town here. Eye of the Storm doing a decent amount of damage against the Darkseer. Static Link gonna be used. Not gonna be able to do too much with that though, as the Viper illusions chase him out, as well as the Wraith King and the Coddle, and that's a dead Razor. Unstable Concoction going to be used to no avail. Ben says, GG, just finish. And there we go. That's GG. So, that was a pretty one-sided game, unfortunately. But yeah, I'll get these up on YouTube. You can check them out at youtube.com/WeLikeDota. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy.